everyone, Janet here with Radiant Realty. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and stay a while, and don't be shy. I love reading your comments and answering your questions. This week, we are doing a video all on where to move in Montana. It was actually a question posted on one of my other videos, and it's not a question that I have not heard before, so I thought it would be helpful to just do a video and kind of go over a little bit of how we got here 8 years ago and what that process looked like for us. So pull up a chair and let's get into it. And as we go through these items, if anything in here is helpful or useful to you, please do give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified when new videos drop. Okay, so when we moved here almost 8 years ago now, I cannot believe it's been that long, there were a couple items that were really important to us, and I'm going to go through about 7 or 8 items here that you're going to want to consider. Obviously, what's important to you is going to be different than what was important to us, but that will definitely be the driving factor as to where you end up in Montana, or if you end up in Montana at all. So for us, my husband worked from home, he had his own company, so really we didn't need employment opportunities or that sort of thing. We did need good internet so he could work from home. We were not set on Montana. We just wanted to be somewhere near Mountain Valley Slope. We loved to ski. We wanted to be within a half-hour, hour at most from a ski resort, like from our house to the lodge. So that was a huge factor. And then of course for us, cost of living, that's going to be a driving factor for everybody. Well, almost everybody. Some people have unlimited budgets, but the rest of us need to find somewhere that fits within the budget and lifestyle that we desire. And since that one is such a driving factor, let's start with that, with the cost of living. You can look up cost of living indexes. There are some websites. I will link those below in the description. If you want to go to those, you can compare where you live now to the cost of living in various cities throughout Montana. Just in general, if you've been following along with my 5-Minute Fridays, you will know that some of the most expensive counties in Montana would be Flathead County, where I am at, and I feature a lot of Kalispell, Whitefish, Big Fork, Lakeside, Columbia Falls, and then Gallatin County, which has Bozeman, or Bos Angeles as some people call it, and Big Sky and that sort of thing, kind of near Yellowstone National Park. So those are probably going to be the 2 most expensive locations within Montana. Not hands down, I don't know, maybe they're somewhere else, but those kind of come up a lot as the top of the budget. And then the lower end is going to be, as far as big cities go, Billings, Great Falls in eastern Montana, Glendive, Cut Bank, and Havre are less expensive. So those are some places to start if you're on the lower end of the budget there. And then all the other areas are going to fall somewhere kind of in between that, I believe. So let's move on to the next one, and you can just research that accordingly on your own time, or reach out to me and I can get you some more information on that. All right, so another big driving factor for many people is going to be medical facilities and employment opportunities. Obviously, the bigger the city, probably the better facilities and more employment opportunities that you will have. So kind of depending on what field you're in and which opportunities you're looking for, you would start with some of the bigger cities in Montana, which is going to be just probably Billings, I believe is the largest city in Montana, and then you've got Bozeman, Great Falls, Butte, Kalispell, I know I'm missing some, Missoula, Helena, so on and so forth. And then from there you get smaller and less opportunity, or you'll just have a little bit more of a drive from where you live to get to one of those cities. And another factor that might be really important to you would be education. If you're looking at colleges, universities, that sort of thing, you have Montana State University in Bozeman. You have the University of Montana, or U of M, in Missoula. Carroll College is in Helena. Flathead Valley has a community college, as does Glendive and a few other areas of Montana as well. Billings has a Rocky Mountain College. So you can do a quick search for colleges and universities in Montana and find out what each city has to offer. All right, and then another item that I mentioned that was important to us, might be important to you, is activities. What are your interests? Why are you wanting to move to Montana? Are you into skiing or hunting or fishing, hiking, biking? Do you want to be near a national park? All of those play into it. So for us, it was the ski resort. For ski resorts, you can do a quick search. You've got Whitefish Mountain Ski Resort, of course, here in Flathead Valley, along with Blacktail. ski area. In Bozeman, you have Bridger Bowl, you've got Big Sky Bowl. Those are kind of some of the bigger ones in the state. And then there are plenty of smaller ones throughout the state as well. So if you don't care how large of a ski resort it is, you just want somewhere to go, there are definitely more opportunities, and I suggest that you look that up. As far as fishing goes, all throughout the state, there are different opportunities depending on which type of fishing you are interested in, so be sure to look that up. For hunting, I hear Dillon, Montana mentioned a lot by hunters here. They don't give specifics. They just say, oh, if you want an elk or if you want this, you got to go to Dillon. Of course, getting the specifics on that is much more difficult. So if you are into hunting, possibly living near one of those areas would be helpful. And then as far as national parks go, of course, Glacier National Park is up here near us, near Flathead County, Montana, or if on the other side, you've got Cut Bank and Great Falls. And then Yellowstone National Park, you've got Livingston just outside of Yellowstone, Red Lodge, and then a little bit further out if you want a bigger city is Bozeman. So definitely a reason those cities might be on the more expensive list of cities in Montana. And then when it comes to hiking, biking, snowmobiling, camping, boating, those activities, I feel like you can find areas to do those throughout all of Montana. But definitely if one of those piques your interest, you should definitely do a search and see where in Montana might be the best place for those activities. And then another important consideration is the weather and the terrain. Very important, especially if you have not grown up in a state with harsh winters. You need to know what you're getting into. So as far as Montana, if you take a look at this map, I just did a quick Google. It is, what is today? January 4th. 2022. Happy New Year, by the way. So these are the temperatures throughout Montana today, and you can see there's a large difference between the temperature here in Flathead County, Kalispell, Whitefish, versus eastern Montana and even to the south. So definitely something to take into consideration. In addition to just the weather and the temperatures, you want to look at the winds, because that eastern side of Montana can get very windy. Sometimes it can get very windy here, and that definitely makes a difference as well. Another thing I love to do when deciding where to move or where to travel or what I want to do when I travel is I just type in an area and I just go straight to images so that I can see some visuals for the area. So I would definitely recommend doing that as well when you're thinking about terrain. On the western side, you have more trees, more mountainscapes, that sort of thing. The eastern side is going to be more plains. Might be great if you're wanting to have a ranch, or back to that hunting again. It's definitely easier to hunt an animal when there's not a bunch of trees in your way. So definitely something to consider. And the next item to consider would be politics. It's something that I hear a lot mentioned when people contact me about moving here. And even throughout Montana, the political landscape is different. So if you get into the university towns or the tourist towns, those tend to be a little bit more liberal, versus some of the other towns are going to be more conservative. We are here in Kalispell, and there was a stark difference last February. We were not wearing masks or any of that sort here. I know some of you are freaking out on me right now, but it's quite nice to have that freedom. And I took my daughter to Missoula for our birthday weekend getaway for more shopping, dining opportunities, that sort of thing. And they were still very masked up there, even when we went into a gas station, just making sure we all had our masks on, that sort of thing. So just a 2-hour drive difference is an entirely different landscape. So definitely something to consider if that is important to you on either side. And that segues nicely into our next item, which is just dining and shopping. So definitely a wide variety of your dining and shopping opportunities throughout all of Montana. So whether that's something that is important to you, or if you actually prefer not to see people and not to be around, definitely plays into which city and area of Montana you're going to choose. And those are really all of the main items that I have or was able to think of. If you think of some others, leave them in the comments below for people. Additionally, there may be things that are important to you. If you're religious, what churches are available. If you have kids, what kids activities are available. If they're in gymnastics or some other sport, cheer, wrestling, boxing, rodeo, horseback riding, just which city has the best opportunity for those activities that they're involved in. and then whatever else is important to you. So that is all I have for today. Again, if you've gone through all of these and you still have some questions, maybe you haven't narrowed down to a few, definitely do not hesitate to reach out. I'm happy to help, whether you're buying or selling in Montana, reach out to me. I am here to answer all of your questions. Have an amazing week, and I will see you all next time.